Come on, guys, more engagement, better.
The painting.
Talk to me.
The painting.
Okay. You probably have seen these in magazines when they, well, I don't know, you don't do magazines anymore. There used to be this little drawing, and this company said, draw this and send it in, and we'll give you a discount on your art school kind of stuff. And many people would just grid it. Did you ever do a grid in elementary school? This is a photo of my folks on Black Mountain with Miss Red. And one Christmas, one of my sons, my second son, just handed me this. It's on a piece of board. And he had painted it by gridding and then by filling in each of the spaces. So that's kind of cool. I actually have a really cool one he did, like my whole family, the Morphew, all my kids and all that, and their kids. What else do you see? It'll be a long, boring class unless you jump up. Okay. I've had people bring in soil, bring in and succulents. You know Elizabeth Brewer? No? Okay, so she did how to plant succulents. I've had other people do other plants. Definitely something you could show. Big deal, I'd say, is pick something you really like. What do you see?
The thing like we used to grab stuff off of the grill.
Oh, yes. All right, so I brought all this stuff from the kitchen of the workroom there. There's some toothpicks with the little swirlies on it and a matching bowl. You know, maybe you know how to make the best grilled chicken ever. And you can show us that. Yeah, and you can use videos and you can use photos as well. I know you're doing how to train your puppy, but you can't bring that wild little thing in here, right?
Yeah.
Because he's not as comfortable as, I want to say Brewer, that's not right, Louie.
He's not used to being around a lot of people. I'm like, we're not going to push that too far.
Right, and she said he was a wild child, but she didn't say those words. And we said, yeah, leave him Smokey at home.
Yeah.
So you're going to use some of those things, maybe vid clips and everything, when you show us how to train a puppy.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, what else do you see? Just speak up, you don't have to raise your hand.
Cards.
The cart?
Yeah.
You know how many people have done how to do a particular app or how to clear your cache or how CACHE hash, how to make a PowerPoint or embed a video, tons. So I don't know about the cart, maybe it's how to build a cart. That'd be kind of cool. We've had, what this does not include, all these toys do not include is Macy Shaver. Somebody used her in her speech. Is that anybody you guys know? She was a learning center tutor, but when she was in my class, mind you, this is a gorgeous, delicate, blonde-haired little girl, and she had tats all over her arms, real pretty artistic things. She brought in a box that she had created as a little bit of a stage and a carburetor, and she showed us how to clean a carburetor. You know, so you don't see those kinds of things, but you can think outside the box for this one. Think of something you love and the best way to draw us in and show us how to do it. I had another guy in Ventress who made a stand with a little bit of a box, and it was how to install the electrical plugs, like those little two things you plug in stuff. And I'm not using the right terms, but he did. And he went through, and his through line was whatever he said first had to do with electricity and common sense. And he was an older guy, and he was talking a lot to the young men to start with. And he said, as a husband, we've got this house, I did this, it saves us money. And then he asked this rhetorical question about electricity. And he goes, and if you don't know the answer to that, you don't need to be doing this, go hire an electrician. You know, so it was kind of funny through line. What else do you see?
Recycling bin.
Yeah. You don't know how many I've seen on how to recycle. It used to be more of a big deal. My mother had all along our shop, our garage area and the big carport area, like 8 big trash cans. And when I first moved back, I painted on the lids to label them because you separated plastics from paper, from washed out glass jars and peeled off labels and aluminum cans and tin cans and all that. And we used to separate it. Cumberland County now does single stream, which means you just basically separate the glass. There's a lot of things that you can recycle. So we've seen a lot of speeches on that, absolutely. And I didn't just bring the can. There was a bottle in it, so making noise and doing the unexpected is kind of fun. Another thing, on the screen perhaps? You people up close. Say it again.
A grilled cheese.
How to make the best grilled cheese ever. My mother swears it's American cheese, 2 slices in the center. But maybe you know a better way. Come on.
Like a cultural dance, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
We have had lots of dances. I don't remember Emma's last name. Nora. She came from Stone. It was one of your color guards. She was in our first middle college class, and I have a photo of her you'll probably see. And she's leading 3 boys from her class in some little ballet dance. It was kind of interesting. You can use models. You can bring people up if it works for you. Absolutely. And this is where I point out that if you do something like knitting, it's very hard. I'm going to close this and show you. There's this little box, exit it, yes, called I am right over here. And if you click on Image Mate, and you have this Elmo, which is the name brand of the projector, turned on with a silver button, we can help you with that. You will see a couple of more things. Kelsey Shaver took my profile picture and she used a computer program and she made whatever this picture is here. And then I have an art thing from a craft store of Cocapelli, the musical flute dude. And it's really cool because it's got like puff paint over the regular paint. But the neat thing about Elmo is that if you use this button, you can go in. Can you imagine showing how to paint nails or do knit stitches or anything like that using the Elmo? Great tools you can use. What else? I won't torture you much, but I have stories for every one of these things. Anybody see the breaking into the car? We've physically gone out to the parking lot where one student had loosened all the bolts on one tire because he knew he was going to do his speech and he had to make it only 4 to 6 minutes. So he prepared his things in advance. And we all went out with him, started the timer. He did his intro with all the components, and then he started showing us the steps. And he took the tire off and he discussed some little elements and then put it back on. And you know how you have to tighten this one and then that one and that one, and you know what I'm talking about. And he told us all the reasons why, tossed in some stories, did his conclusion. Boom, he was in 4 to 6 minutes. Anything else? Anybody like the firefighters? I've had 5 canisters. This one guy came totally dressed in his firefighting gear. And 5 canisters were up here with different colors. And I did not know that each canister addresses a different type of fire. You guys know you can't pour water on an electric fire, right? So, or it'll spread. Well, I learned something new. There's 5 different color canisters, blah, blah, blah. You're going to be sharing something you know about, something you love, something that you're just interested in and go find out about, and demonstrating how to do it. Okay, let's move forward. And if you want another story, if you saw a picture and just didn't want to speak out loud because it's too early back from fall break, That's okay. Talk to me later and I'll tell you. Yeah.
I was wondering if somebody could show me like how to put videos in like on Google Slides or whatever, because I've never done that.
I think embedding a video on PowerPoint or Google Slides is a great skill to learn in today's digital communication. You're going to be going through college and doing a variety of presentations. Some of you may go into the workforce and need to do that kind of thing. There's something called embedding a video. Take those words. If you either go to the CTAT site where they have lots of videos, hit the YouTube, or go see somebody at the Learning Center, they'd be happy to help. Great question. We're going to show how to do something, or to do something better than anybody else, because you know the trick, right? This is actually on our syllabus. Organization, content, and delivery, and all the little, and this font is small, I know that, I did that on purpose. By the way, don't use small font, right? Can anybody make sense of that? But this is all on our syllabus, and that's what we're going to grade you on, just like before. Organization, that's following the rubric. Content, the good stuff you put in there that are going to raise our appeals and engage us. Keep those, take those logos, right? And then delivery. I had a guy yesterday at Ventress. Every speech, every demonstration speech, they're ahead of you because they get out early. It's a late, what do you call it? Late end, early ending or something like that. It's out November 2nd. You guys have any of those classes? Anybody, you're going full term? Anyhow, at Ventress yesterday, I had a bunch of medical people. So we did how to type blood, how to draw blood, and how to test for blood sugar. And then this other guy comes up, and I gotta say that, pray you don't know who I'm talking about. He's not the most academic of students. However, when he talked about something he absolutely knows about and loves, he works out a lot, right? Someday he may own his own workout place. He showed us how to do a deadlift, and his delivery and his engagement, his looking at people and nodding the head and making sure they were getting it, you could see he was reading them, was so strong. So when we made sure, because some other people hadn't done it, I said, be sure to go in conclusion and restate, you've shown us how. He did that, and his score was passing, and he was thrilled. Actually, it was almost a B, so he was thrilled. Organization means a big deal, but delivery is what's going to really hook us to. All right, so we're going to not do everything on here because I'm adding a new activity. We're going to skip through a few slides. First, as far as organization goes, you may have found out that the outline plan aligns perfectly with the rubric. Yours is the class, I think I have a few more people who did not get feedback on informative. Is that right? Yes, no, anybody know? There's a class I have about 15 people who didn't get feedback. So my apologies, I am grading them. I graded some more this morning, but I did unplug and didn't catch up. Organization, you got to show us, don't just tell us like the sheet cake dude. One of the things I want you to do, and as we do our activity, you can think about what you want to do. But when you figure out your topic, what you're going to show us what to do, how to do topic, is to analyze your procedure. Now, I think I have this attached in news as PowerPoint, but if you would like to have me look at your procedure to feel like, yes, you'll be able to, ask me questions. What's hard? What does your audience already know? Remember, people don't always know what you know. Those medical people sometimes threw out terminology and ideas that other people didn't understand. And a few people did a really good job of tossing in the plain old English so that we got it as they were doing things. Okay. Guts. Informative was like main point 1, main point 2, main point 3. The structure of this speech, my experience has seen, is that some students first give some background or tell a story or something after their intro, to explain, maybe they put their quotes in there, I don't know. But then they go, first do this, then we do that. So first they may have some background information, and then they do the step-by-step. So that's their structure. This preview says, as I show you the steps, I'll toss in fun facts and stories. So I have seen speeches where people get through their intro, they've really drawn us into the topic, they've told us they're going to show what they're going to show us how to do, and then they say a preview line that lets the listeners organize. And for their body, they go, first do this, and by the way, I remember one time when I did that and I screwed up and it was terrible and it was and everybody laughs, you know. You toss in fun quotes, fun facts as you're showing the steps. So that's another structure. This one, I just sort of made up. It's not actually something someone has said, but listen to this preview, and it's all about how to change oil. I'm going to show you how to change oil. Listen to the thesis preview and see if you can understand. They're telling you your central idea, and they're telling you the structure of their speech. It gets the listener's mind primed to listen. The steps to take in changing your car's oil are easy, and I'll show you. I'll show you how. While we go through the steps, listen to see if I answer all your questions. And maybe Ms. Morphew will let me answer after we're done. You feel the structure there? The listeners know what to expect. So remember to put in your thesis that directly says, I'm going to show you how to do this, and to preview the structure. One of the, when you get into your groups today, one section, maybe a couple of people are going to be tasked with doing the intro and the conclusion. And the other half of the group is going to be using computers or devices and actually going to plan some citations from different sources and some works cited to go with it. Doesn't have to be 5, okay, but I'm dividing them. The problem on some outlines that I've seen is that they leave credibility and they leave attention getter and credibility blank. Or they put one thing. Maybe they ask a rhetorical question and then they put me, because I did that on a draft. If you did that, understand that there's a difference. I'll talk to the intro group about really layering those attention getters and credibility and closing it up so that you'll demonstrate it here after our activity. We got content. The sweet spot is to pick something your audience is going to care about, that you care about and know about, or that you go to find more information on. Here's a few more pictures of speeches that have been done in this class. This young woman decided to manage the room. It was a very small group. It was an evening class. And she said, can we go sit down? And she had us literally go to the center in that room 120, I think, over here. It's got like tables like this. And we sat in the center on the floor while she showed us how to knit. She didn't want to use the elbow. And she had a small group. This is Joe Burney. I've talked to him in some videos. Anybody know Joe? Okay, I won't go on about it, but he's life-saving Preston Buck. The neat thing about Joe is that he came fully dressed, and as he started his attention getter, he started stripping. I mean, literally, he got down to his bathing suit and his whistle. Does that grab our attention? Yeah, it did. And then he showed us how to be a lifeguard and save lives with certain holds. This is the dancer with her classmates. She got all the guys to get up. Taught how to make a pot or do pottery on a wheel. Food is absolutely welcome. I haven't actually reserved the room, so we'll see if we are doing our demo speeches in the community conference room. But food's allowed in there, so food's absolutely fine. With COVID precautions, some people do end up like making individual bags of things and using all the nice protocols, and you're not forced to eat it here. When Joe did his thing, Anna did how to wrap a Christmas present. And she had a whole table that she had a Christmas tree with lights. She was dressed up. She referred to all of her visuals. She had all her materials and showed us a neat way to wrap a Christmas present. So those are cool things. I'm going to skip this slide so we can get to other things. You know, because I've shown you this before, that who did it? The Wharton Research Center in 2013 updated OSHA's 2008. OSHA is the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, updated their study, and they confirmed that if you just hear it, it's only 10% retention in your audience of what you said. If you just have the visuals laying out, they might remember 35. But if you can combine that, you get an exponential growth. And their research indicated 65% retention of what you said. So we want to make sure we have that. This is the 9-minute video about how to work the stage. And literally it is how to enter, where to stand, and some different ways you can increase connection or engage your audience by saying, when I talk about my key points, I'll stand here, maybe side stories, I'll go to the side. It's just intentionally planning your movement. You got that right? You can still use cue cards. Probably wouldn't want to hold a phone and just read it. You guys have seen some examples perhaps that were less interesting that way. They don't do as much eye contact. Okay. Rehearsal is a key way, particularly with demo for the timing, because we tend to, that's the one thing people tend to go over. Some people intentionally choose, I am going to go over. Yeah, so forget those points, I'm taking them off. Try to reach everything. Your credibility, your quotes authority, that's ethos. Grab our emotions with some pictures, with some laughter, with making us horrified, I don't know, just tell us stories, give us great descriptions, use multi-sensory stuff if you want to get us physically engaged. That all increases pathos or has the chance to. Video clips are not bad things to include. And don't forget that logos, those regular facts. A lot of people do that. They put that in. Because a lot of your papers expect that. All right, so here we go. Yes.
How many videos should I like include, or should I just do like all of it in one?
You only get 4 to 6 minutes, you decide.
Okay.
Okay.
I found it on there, like how to do it. I just had to like look for it.
Luke, please stand right over on that wall. This is what you get for being good. Natalie, right over, Natalie Crisp, right here. Jonathan Ford, Caitlin Lander. A quick cursory glance this morning when I was, I had been visualizing this activity and sort of planning it for a while, indicated that these guys had outlines that rocked in terms of organization. They know what goes where. So I'm going to count on you guys to be the group leaders here. And now we're going to just pull until you get team members dispersed. You start. And then pick a corner and go there, and we'll just go around the room or something.
No.
Who was yours? Okay, go ahead.
There were some things.
Later, be cool. Because when you decide where we're going, maybe we should move out a little bit. Maybe you take there and you take right here or something. Here, girl. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Next group leader, Todd. Oh, that's you. Okay. Does this feel like the last person to be picked in kickball? Kaylei. She did.
Oh, she did? So,
Did you get one?
No, we're still on it. Brittany.
Okay, then you got her. Okay, these two left? Go ahead. Who would like another group member? Because we got 2 extra girls that are like awesome. Who wants them? You get one. Okay, and then Carly, will you go join this group right here?
Yeah.
Awesome. What you're gonna do with this group. Oh, and Natalie, I think there's a Natalie. Let me check. No, Brittany. Where are you, Brittany? Brittany, because you didn't have, you're the only one I happen to see. Because you didn't do your attention getter and cred, you left them blank, and I know other people did too. She gets to work, is she in your group? She gets to work in the attention getter, the intro and the conclusions, okay? You need 2 people in your group to be in charge of attention, the intros and the conclusions. And I'll talk to that group first, because the rest of you know how to do the rest. Whoever's not in the intro conclusion is going to be the body. What I want you to do is find a couple of sources, 2 or 3 sources. Have somebody make a works cited. Team leader, you get this? Because you got to keep facilitating this, right? Okay. And 2 or 3 sources, plan out a couple of citations and do a works cited. We're not going to write the whole first do this, then do this sequence. Okay? So citations are in the body with the works cited. Intro and attention getter people, choose yours and send them to me. Whoops.
This is a. Yeah, no, right.
You should send at least 2 people to me, team leaders.
I feel like you're better at talking than all of us.
Yeah.
So you would be the attention getter?
Yeah, sure, because I'm, took all
You're
of
good
it.
one, Brittany. Thanks for your sense of humor on this.
Okay, so attention
If
getter.
I had
Yeah.
I don't have it assigned.
Sure. Okay,
Okay, 2. I'm missing
All right.
2 people for the intro and conclusion.
it's me.
Okay, just you? All right. And is that every group represented? Nope, got a couple more. All right, team leaders. You are now to get the rest of the people looking for sites about your topic. You don't know which topic it is, do you? Since I started over there with picking names, Caitlin, do you want how to shoe a horse, how to braid hair, or how to change oil?
How to braid hair.
All right, so that topic can either be repeated by one group and you can choose any of the 3 until we get to the next group. What's your topic, you guys?
Oil.
How to change oil. All right, how about it? One topic can be repeated that we only have 3 groups. So that means you guys get to do that's right. Okay,
We'll take braid hair, yeah.
okay, and then that gets you the shoe and the horse.
Yeah.
So you guys know what you're doing, teams leaders? You're getting the body people working, right? You're gonna put on index cards or slices of paper the planned citations, and you're gonna tack them up with magnets onto the board. And if you can do a works cited and tack it on the board, that'd be awesome. Go. Attention getters. Do you know what your topic is?
Do you not have braid hair?
No.
Yeah.
Did you get your?
I don't know how.
Okay.
I don't even know how to do this.
I do model something
Okay,
that
cool.
seems to be a difficulty for some outlines. Could be just because they don't want to do it, like take the time to write it out and make it be more different. But the fact is, the outline follows the rubric. And organization makes a huge impact. Awesome. Somebody in here got like an awesome score on their speech, really awesome. If you did it was because you made a trail to say piece of the preach, and then go back and then use that same kind of information in your restatement. Where you may have used different transitions. You guys have to do this step. Really layer attention getters. And you're fine, you can brainstorm. You just want to write. We'll do a big clip from some fashion show showing lots of things. Or we'll do a activity where somebody gets up and does whatever it is you want to brainstorm. We'll ask a rhetorical question. We'll give some starter with
You want to pick one writer?
You brainstorm. What's the intention they're gonna be? And then you can make up, this is whoever you want to speak. You can make up a credibility. But credibility is not just I worked there or I volunteered for it. It's got to be layered. A story, a description, an example, my relatives, whatever it is. So you guys are really making up an intro with the attention getter credibility. The thesis is on the board. The preview is on the board. So that's done. You need to then do a conclusion. Conclusions don't have any new information. So that's where you probably need to talk to your group members once you get to the conclusion. You can do a transition word, you can do a restatement, that's easy. Put them on a card, they're right there on the board, or you can look back up the thesis. But the closer you need to talk to your folks. You need to decide, is there something for my attention getter that I can make a lineup for? To be this plan. What questions do you have? Clarifications?
How would I get credibility from how big is the brain?
Who, could be somebody that's been braiding their hair since this time or that time. Could be somebody that wants to be a hairdresser. You get to make it all up.
Oh,
And we're just going to be modeling for people the idea that you can layer attention getters that'll draw people in.
Yeah.
Get them thinking this is the topic without telling them, just doing something to get their attention. Offering credibility because ethos goes in. Like Aristotle says, you got to believe the speaker knows what they're talking about before you'll take in the information. Otherwise, it's a barrier there. So you guys are going to model how to do that with just some fake speaker.
hold on, Google. Let me get out of there. Out.
Go.
Credibility whenever we're demonstrating.
Some people do. Yes. Yes.
How would you?
So if you were to do it yourself, you need a face top.
Never.
Okay. So if you were at the step when you have to drain everything out, you could toss in a personal story about sometime you did that. And this or that.
Make it up.
It can also have credibility. It's letting your listener know that you're
I
aware.
found a video we can
It
use.
could be, I was interested, I was gonna oil change.
Yeah.
Everything was so expensive. You couldn't afford it, so I learned how to do it myself. I got bravery on it. My dad's taught me all my life, any of those kinds of things, so that the audience is more inclined to go, okay, I'll listen to this message. You may know what it's about. And then you can also toss in personal stories later.
So we're gonna use cards or PowerPoint.
I guess. Right now. I really don't care. Probably be the one.
So are we all presenting this together, like as a group?
No, you're sticking them on Post-its and filling in your outline. That's all we're gonna get for the final product today, is we're gonna be having the outlines shown on the board. I got materials up here if anybody needs index cards, magnets.
Yeah.
What are we doing? So I guess each one of y'all will cover one of the body paragraphs, like one main paragraph.
many people break their hands. Yeah. Like how you would say it in speech, I guess. Like, how would I do it? So I'm like, prove it. Oh, no. Do it. Okay. Figure out like points. So one of us all has a main point. That way we can all. I was gonna tell you.
There isn't 3 win points, right? Remember, you tell them, because I know you know how to do this. There may only be 2 parts to this. There may be only one body. That's like the procedure. It's up to you.
So do one of y'all want to focus on like the steps of grading, and then one of y'all like the history of grading? Like, culture behind it? I'll do the steps. Okay. I'll do the history. Okay. And then she was do a good attention getter and make sure. And she said you would defend your credibility. Just be like, oh my gosh, I went to school for grading professionally, and tell like a fake story about it. Be like, there was one customer I had once. She had lice. Just make it up.
Okay, yeah, we can do that real easy,
Yes.
because I'm used to it.
Yeah. So just do one for the attention getter and then one for your credibility. But you don't need.
Just like how I know. Okay, wait.
Yes.
Hold on.
There's also scissors. If you want to come around regular paper. It's up to you. And then here's magnets.
Floor jack or jack stand. I guess that goes.
Anybody need a computer? We've got more, of course.
You can do it in like Washington DC. You know, make her.
Jack stand.
I'm conference cannot be here. Whole backstory. I just gotta figure out how to spell this first.
I feel like a funnel is optional.
I wish I could.
But-
Seriously.
Were you a socket? Or- Yeah. It's pretty good.
Unless I was dropped small. Okay, so I think they have it or no parts up there.
I also have scissors if you want to type it on regular paper and just slice it. Totally up to you.
Okay, so wrench or ratchet bit.
Already have it.
Oil for paper towels.
Just have the pictures of them. Barely hard.
No, because we're not doing the whole presentation, we're not doing the whole sequence. Some people are going to do quotes, some of them are science, and put them on cards, slices of paper. and add them up. Other people attention getter.
Yeah, start with it.
Just remind people of what rush out.
I don't know how to do it. Terrible. Something.
You're basically doing a couple of sources and plan citation.
I can get it. I really would think.
Yeah, that's probably easier for me because I think I have straight on these. It was like, yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Where did you get
What
those?
It's just some random.
Do you want to do it like that, like the steps? Like what's the
Yeah.
Totally.
And then-
So what
To do
is,
that, and then
what's the name of
where we
it?
got
If
from.
you did a workshop on that thing, go find out.
It's like what it's.
Incredible
I
thing.
think, I don't know, ask
Like I
Kaylei, she
did
had the good
with some of
stuff.
Kelsey Shavers. Persuasive.
Yeah.
That exercise. I literally.
Like
went
the
to
steps, like at the
website
end
and
where
found
I
out more
tell
about
where I
that
got the
stuff, that
steps.
people were- that person who had produced that content. And I said, oh, that's why they're believing.
Okay.
So you only have to do a couple, so go find out more about that and then plan a really cool way that you're gonna say that. citation. Yeah, even if it's just the two, man, it's like.
Two
awesome.
years.
I think you guys are on track. I love your red computer. She's doing the intro and the conclusion. Have you guys found a couple of sources? And you've got a couple of plan citations already? Not yet. You're working on it, leave me alone. I think, hey, the bottom line, I just want to clarify is that whoever's doing the body, all you have to do is a couple of plan citations. And then do the works cited, and put it over here on that with it. Okay, all right, we're not doing the whole sequence, you knew that, right? How's it going? You gonna pay attention, get her done? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're not doing the whole sequence, just a couple of good authoritative citations. And then the work site. Okay, and you can magnet them up, you see what we did up
How
there?
can you figure out?
You know, either put them on an index card, some people will probably print it and type it out and then
You can
slice
make
it
it
out.
up, you don't have to be realistic, you can say that you went to school for 12
What's
years.
your attention? Okay, what's it called?
It'll make it funny, so, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, cool, that's a great credibility statement. What else? You get maybe three or three different things.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just like, no, it's like, I stop it.
That would probably be more in the attention getter than the credibility, right? Okay, cool. What else? Perfect. If you said the line about people nowadays do this, could you not ask a group? So ladies, is it true or any of you long-haired hippie men? You know, that was an old song. No, not long-haired hippie. Just people who need a fly. Yeah, so absolutely, but rhetorical question, like, have you ever done this or do you? Okay, so that's like three things for attention getter. Okay, try to do either with the attention getter, the credibilities, and the objective pieces in the preview, or conclusion, what would it sound like? In conclusion, and then you restate, we've shown you how to do this. Whatever your structure is for that. So that you do cases preview, like a restate. And then you're gonna need a closer. So your closer might come to your attention getter, or you can ask your citation people, is there something you think we should say? You know, and it's like, how's that sound? It's simple, but some of these things aren't showing up on outlines. And I thought maybe you guys
I have
actually
my
do it.
steps.
Yeah.
I have the steps to write. Somebody made them. For your body paragraph, for you.
Oh, I'm not doing mine.
Just doing mine.
YouTube. We're only doing
Is your closer tied to anything?
Do you ever write the
that's been said
website down
about-
Yeah, like just put locations of your,
I don't know, not if they said it in your intro.
whenever you give the fact
Awesome.
So according to
Awesome.
how
How's the
step one
attention getter
is
credibility?
this.
The attention getter is really good. We is that
How many layers are there?
At least that's what I was doing.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Okay, one question? That's not the answer.
So it's an intro about the question, then it has a fact that is sodded.
Okay, can you, that's kind of cool, you're bringing a citation up into the attention getter, that's cool. So can you actually write it out? Actually write out the question you're gonna ask, write out, take the citation from him and put it up there. That would mean one less citation in the body.
Do you want to read it?
Yeah, totally. Good.
It's the first one, the second paragraph.
You're gonna have to change your rhetorical question. Perfect. Excellent. I love it. Now that's actually like your thesis. You sort of rewritten the thesis. That's cool. And then conclusion. Now is your concluding phrase. Now is your transitional word. Yeah.
Is that okay?
It's not the best. It's not bad. It's a transition.
Or would you rather just have it?
If you did it with a pause, like now, you know how to do this, then it actually will make you pause right before you say, you went through all of your steps, and then you pause. And then you say, now you know. Then it could work, but if you did a different one, like that transition sheet, that says this is a conclusion. I think speakers can pull it off, but you'll notice it's a little lower on the rubric that you use pause as a transition rather than I'm choosing an intention. You think that we should sum it all up. Now that we've done all this. Instead of the word now. Yeah. Tedious. Good and actually deliver. That sounds so formal compared to maybe. So just with the speed. There might be enough.
Like, cause it's all the steps.
Better. I think you can pull off, but I just think
Do I need to
now.
change it?
It really sound like something. Did you have kind of a story that now that you know how to do it? I think I heard you say this.
More services from treatment and like plastic everywhere.
No, you didn't say anything about saving. Somewhere here. Oh, I say mine. Okay, maybe you're people who brought it up to a quote that actually talks about that too. But you have a citation. Do you have the work summary?
You know what?
No.
Excellent.
The first one was that.
That-
Oh, incredible. Yeah. Try to introduce yourself basically.
Well, that's more credibility.
Oh crap, I screwed this whole mic up.
Well, no, because you can still do one, because you need one for the contributor, one for the credibility.
I think every group knows what's going on. Start putting up your cards that you have done.
Trying to think of one. It would work. Okay. I'm kind of lost.
I just don't know what, like, putting here.
What do you not do?
The attention getter. The attention getter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of
them
What were your first thoughts? Are you the attention getter person?
Yeah.
Okay.
To go chip in the middle a little bit. I have no clue either. That's not a good idea.
Get your fancy phone out and Google attention getters for entrance of speeches or something. See what they say. That would be a great attention getter.
That was.
Oh, yeah.
We'd make them laugh to get started. I think we should use her hair. Look at this.
I know, she has such beautiful hair.
I was commenting on it earlier today. It's so pretty long. She may want to get a trim, she says. Looks pretty healthy. Hey, if you've got your cards, let's be putting them up.
That's what we started in the middle of school.
People just watch your videos, figure out how to do it, like the teacher.
I'm sure I like it.
A video could be, a video clip could work.
Yes.
What would be a video clip that you could use?
Are you going to- Yes. I just have to do it and then it's, and then it shows like the video over here. So I don't know what that- I don't know what's that.
Well, it's up to you. You figure it out.
Trying to see.
I'm thinking your class did a great job with the attention getters. So think about the ones that you saw. What kinds of things did they do?
You want this back? You can keep them if you want. I look like next time. That'll be helpful.
Was anybody else I know?
Yeah. She was good.
Okay. When she said she's already got that information, I have to. I wanted to protect you.
Yeah, she.
Good.
I think I'm going to Ball State in spring. Oh, you're transferring?
But she was telling you how to do.
Right. She's gonna- Yeah, I'm leaving you guys. Oh, what are you studying? Physical therapy, but I'm gonna go get my associate's degree. Just in that one. I was looking at occupational therapy for a while. I just wanted occupational, but if I don't work out, I want to be a mechanic. So,
Do you know about that?
yes.
I'm gonna do a demo on something. I love people that we don't expect come in and
Yeah. Well, I'm actually gonna do a demo about how to shoot a bow.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And I'm gonna bring the bow and the arrows and the target.
If there's something you do, like when people bring in guns, like how to clean a gun and that kind of thing. And how to disassemble it, they always went through security first. With the guns, I know that the security guy walks out of the car with them and walks them back in. And then they do their thing and he walks back to the car with them. I don't know if there's the same.
I'm gonna take all my, like actual pointer tips that go in my arrows out, and I'm gonna use practice tips, so that way there's nothing sharp.
Okay.
What do we do? They might order.
Oh, what do you think?
And it'll be fun for the whole class.
It would be fun. It's on the course outline.
Okay. Yes, do next week. Yeah, okay. Well, I haven't tried.
Okay, guys, we got the cards up. Everybody's work cited up.
Do you want me to consider that? Yeah.
You only had to find a couple of sources. Everybody do like a site test or something to get it done?
I'm writing.
Okay, perfect.
I'm too scared.
You had to do a work cited for the couple of sources you used?
But yeah, I might change it. I might bring in something crazy up on the card.
I love it when people do things that are unexpected.
I
It's so much
actually-
fun.
It's going now, but I actually just got done working on this.
Really?
This weekend.
Fascinating.
Yeah, we've been at the garage for like 4 days.
Well, have you ever checked out the programming on TV?
I'm gonna finish my associate's degree in science.
I think you should.
And then,
The only reason I say that is they pay for tuition for TCAT as much as they pay for tuition for.
right, which I have the Pell Grant, so they're gonna pay for everything and I don't have to pay anything back.
You're gonna end up with a good place.
I'm either gonna go do regular mechanics or do some.
Next,
haven't decided.
Where's the world going?
First of all.
So my dad does. That's really cool. TCAT and Livingston does like robot stuff in aerospace.
Oh,
I know drones are getting super big right now. Yeah.
So did you get your attention getter layers?
Yeah, if I knew we like to do food stuff, then I would have done something, but I didn't know we could do that.
You still can. So you get to the speech. I know you turned in an outline, but,
The thing is just trying to, what I'd have to do is get up like real early that morning and like cook the food, because it takes like 30 minutes for it. And I'm like, okay, and a lot of people probably would like that idea, because it's not much here, it's like Chinese stuff.
you might be surprised how many people like that.
Leftover Chinese food.
Well, if you've ever been to Panda Garden, you know what I'm talking about. Morning start is like,
All right, we got a works cited for how to shoe a horse. Do we have a works cited for braid hair?
Oh, you're not. Did mom follow?
no, yeah, there's something.
I love the way braid hair use the split of the board to naturally do the two different groups. That's awesome. Oil, you about ready?
Not really.
You got your attention getter. Just take that paper you did and cut it in half and use the magnets to put it up there and the credibility up there
Miss Morphew,
and your conclusion up there.
I would just have to ask mom, you know, if she'd like go get the stuff.
Well, I don't know. You were planning the dog thing for a long time.
Yeah.
But you do need to get 3 more sources.
I thought I had your.
Get 2. And you didn't close. You didn't plan your citations when you turned it.
I'm like, is that middle? And I actually have somebody that could like remove my feedback and make it.
That would be so cool. I think people bring horses.
Like the semi-spiritual.
And we've like gone out to the front lawn and they showed you how to brush down a horse.
He can tell you like his blind spots or they can see like the inside. Well, he doesn't. He uses like calculator.
Awesome. All right, guys. We've got 15 minutes. Are we about ready? Come on, Oil.
It's a long process.
What's that?
So listen, it's a long process.
It's a long process to do the work side.
Well, it's easier just to do, change your oil and explain it.
Yes, sir. That is an astute observation. If you know how to. How many people go to YouTube to figure out how to do something new? Right? Just yesterday, my brother sent me a video because my mom's thermostat, I live with my mother, and my mother's thermostat gets screwed up all the time. She's only got it a year ago, so he sent me a video on how to make sure that it doesn't keep picking off and on. It's supposed to whatever. Just yesterday. Awesome work. You ready? How to shoe a horse. Would you please come on up to the board, everybody? Quick. Shoe a horse, people. Up you go. Those people who did attention getter and conclusion, you're gonna kind of guide us through the whole intro. Then the people who did the body will share the citations they plan. And maybe, I don't know if you show your works cited or not. And then the attention getter conclusion people will read the conclusion that they wrote. Everybody cool on what to do? Okay, let's go.
Do you want a horse?
Yes.
Thank you. Well, if you do, there's one important thing that you need to know when having a horse. It's kind of like a dog. You gotta feed it, water it, occasionally brush it if it gets dirty, give it a bath. But most importantly, you gotta shoe a horse. Does anyone know how to shoe a horse? We got one person that knows how to shoe a horse.
And then read your thesis and preview. Read your thesis and preview.
Today, we'll examine how to shoe a horse.
And then presumably one structure is first, we'll give you some background or whatever.
First, we'll need the necessary tools.
Good.
Then we'll demonstrate steps to take.
You feel how that drew us into the topic? It told us what we're going to be seeing and it previewed the structure. That was awesome. Okay, Body, give us some sites.
According to Levi Palmer, a farmer who shoes horses, you must file down the hoof to fit the horseshoe.
On the website WikiHow, they recommend that you shoe and trim a horse's hooves every 6 to 8 weeks.
Awesome. Do you feel how the ethos is rising? They're given an authoritative quote. We know that all the other steps are going to be in there, whatever background or stories you're going to toss in, or those non-examples when somebody did it bad and your horse bled out or something like that. Talk about what it is and pathos. Okay, conclusion.
Now we can see how beneficial it is to shoe your horse. Now, we ask you again, do you want a horse?
All right. By the way, they used the word now. So did the group in the corner, and I gave them a hard time. We have that great transition sheet if you want some intentional ones, but did you hear how he did what I said?
Yes.
Paused beforehand and then said it. So now works, but all those those intentional transitions cue you in, we're finishing up, right? So in conclusion, to sum it all up, but I loved how you connected your intro to your closer. That was really well done, man. Well done. Okay, first group to how to braid a hair. Go for it. One of you, just jump up there. Good job.
Have you ever wondered how to braid hair? Natalie here was on the volleyball team during high school. She often braided her teammates' hair before tournaments. Girls found ways that work best to get hair out of their face. I'll show you how to braid hair. As I show you the steps, I'll toss in fun facts and stories. According to IndianExpress.com, when your hair is neatly tied in a braid, there is less hair breakage as opposed to when you leave it loose.
Genesis Career College states that throughout history, braiding has been used for several reasons, from defining tribes, social status, and other societal classifications to mapping escape routes for slaves.
Not only is it a convenient hairstyle, but it serves as a protective style that will help your natural hair grow faster, states MidBeauty.com.
In conclusion, we have demonstrated how to braid hair. So next time, ladies or long-haired men, if you have hair in your face, think of a tighter solution to keep that hair out of your mouth.
You feel it? Now, I want you to watch the authoritative quotes. When you say a website, make sure it's something we know is an authority. What was the website you used?
Beauty.
Okay, and if I don't know that that's some woo-woo site.
They're a wig. They sell wigs.
Oh, okay, so if you just tossed in the positive phrase, that happy little phrase like something beauty, .com beauty thing, a company that actually produces wigs from real hair or something like that, just tossing in that little additional information raises the ethos. Cool? Do you guys feel the flow here? Meanwhile, you're going to be having your sequence. I have one more critique on that one. You definitely said the thesis, but remember that you need to restate the structure of the speech. It helps close it for listeners. So we went through this thing. You'd say, now you know how to, we've shown you how to braid hair. And as we did, I hope you found those stories interesting or those little facts helpful or whatever you want to say, something that you talk about the structure again. Does that make sense? Okay, well done. Braiding, go, go, go. You guys are awesome. And I hope that you find that this is helpful in creating your own demonstration outline.
Yeah. Ready? Okay. So, ours is how to braid hair. So, I went to cosmetology school for 12 years at beauty school. Okay. Once there was this girl that came in, wanted me to do her hair, but she had loss going everywhere. So that was gross. After she left, you have to throw away like everything you used because you don't want to use that on anybody else. And that's a requirement from the place. I'll show you how to braid hair. And who does that?
It's not this one. As I show you the steps, I'll toss in fun facts and stories.
And not all of them will gross you out.
Amplify Africa explains how braids have been utilized from as early as 3500 BCE. Furthermore, braids symbolize strength, wisdom, and identity.
According to a cow, first you'll brush your hair. Second, you'll divide your hair into 3 even strands. Third, you'll cross the right section over the middle section. Fourth, you'll cross the left section over the new middle section. Continue the braid after alternating and then tie it. Finally, now that all of you know the culture and history behind hair braiding and how to braid hair, I encourage all of you to try something new with those beautiful heads of hair.
That was finally the conclusion, yeah?
Yes.
Awesome job. I want to compliment you. If you do something that you know is going to gross us out, did you see how my one-liner added to your preview? And I'll tell you interesting facts and stories, and not all of them will gross you out. That'll make them laugh, and it will connect things together then. Well done. WikiHow they mentioned. Luke had it in his group as well. Did you guys have WikiHow mentioned? You are allowed one WikiHow, one time, demo speech only. Okay, so if you, when you're choosing your topic, choose a WikiHow, one time, it's okay. Well done, ladies. Are you also going, you could also use the WikiHow quote with the 4 steps and then go back. Now let's review that, and as I show you it, and then you could show the steps, toss in little stories and facts and quotes as you're going. Very cool. All right.
How many of you know how to change your own? According to NBC News, 36% of Americans are clueless about changing their own oil. As we go through these steps, you will know how to save money and prevent a mess by changing your own oil.
So what are you gonna need to change your oil? Most of us probably don't know that. Am I correct in assuming that? Okay, so you're gonna need jack stands, a floor jack, oil, oil filter, oil pan, a funnel, a wrench, oil filter pliers, and paper towels.
First of all, you need to unscrew the oil cap. After that, locate the drain plug. Drain the hole while underneath. Next, remove the hole plug and drain entirely afterwards. The oil pan underneath the filter to allow the remaining oil from the filter to drain. Step 2, apply a thin coating of oil on the filter. Install oil filter hand tight plus a quarter turn of oil supply. Replace the drain plug so it's finger tight plus a half turn. Once the oil filter and drain plug are installed, add oil. Place oil cap removes jack stand below the Wait 5 minutes for the oil to settle in the engine and remove the dipstick. Wipe it away with a rag.
Yeah, we're not waiting.
Reinstall it and remove it. We'll check it all. Oil level should be between and add the lines near full. Check oil pressure, let the vehicle run for a few minutes.
Sounds pretty good, Jim.
And that's like change.
It's not the conclusion. It's not the conclusion. All in all, now you know how to change your own oil. And over time, you guys will save so much money.
Stay there. Feedback. Besides phenomenal acting, right? You could totally bring somebody else up as your model. I've had a woman bring her daughter-in-law in, and she gave her a haircut while we were being shown how to give a haircut. You can bring somebody in to model for your help. More feedback. More feedback. Come on, critique, honest critique here.
The conclusion, maybe like figure that out a little more. Because we thought it was one thing, but it was more to it. So.
And maybe would have been fleshed out more if they hadn't just done the sequence, right? They could have talked more about the savings of money. That's interesting. That's not the feedback I was looking for, but very cool.
Sources.
This job today was to have those planned citations. And you guys did a phenomenal job at what, guys? Yeah, delivery too. The sequence. Yes, yes. You did a really good job on doing the first step, second step, third next, and all of that. But remember that you can really raise the ethos if you say where you got the information, who said so, this authoritative site. So by the way, thank you for that non-example of the citations and that wonderful, wonderful modeling of how to use a model with yourself. That was great. Thank you. Is it time? All right. See ya. I hope you had fun. I hope that gives you some insight into your own. Have fun with it.
How do I send this to you?